Hello and welcome to game number 4 of day number 17 of season 8 of StarLadder Star Series. It is game 4 of 6 games today in total. We have got ourselves a game between the Retry and Sigma International. That will be our 4th game today, and it will be also the only time that we'll see these two teams. The other two games that we'll see still tonight are Cupid versus Na'Vi and Alliance versus Flipside. So 2 other great games to go. While I say great games, it is going to be the David versus Goliath kind of situation for both situations. But I think a lot of people that were watching StarLadder yesterday, well, they'll know that, you know, on paper it doesn't really matter who you think will win. I think yesterday was a day that a lot of people lost their rares. And as people in Dota TV might have noticed already, as I've already kind of told my stream and the people that are watching my stream, I have been abandoned! Yep, that's right. No co-caster, no Stasman. Everybody had to leave all of a sudden. All the Na'Vi games gone. And that's not true, there's still one, but 3 games gone and they're like, sorry, I have to go. Leaving me alone. Leaving me alone. We have a Huskar ban in the house. Well, that's unusual. We haven't seen Huskar nor Slark at all today, so interesting ban coming out from the Retry. We still, therefore, I mean, if you're gonna go for something like that, we still have the Slark in the pool, so perhaps we're gonna see something coming out for the Retry like that, or for even Sigma. Sigma have still got the possibility to pick up the Marana and the Crystal Main. That's a combination that, or Marana Bane rather. That's a combination that they've picked up so often lately, so I wouldn't be surprised to see those be the first 2 picks for Sigma. Indeed, the Retry goes for the Slark, so we'll see how Sigma is going to deal with that hero. But I'm thinking that with the ban on the Huskar and the IO, I don't think that Sigma is too much shut down about the heroes being picked up so far, or banned out. So then they're gonna just be able to play their own game. It really depends if they want to play their own game though, because do they want to have the Marana and the Bane? Bane is pretty decent against the Slark, to be honest. I mean, yeah, if the Dark Pact timing is proper, then you can get out of that, but overall, if you wait until the Dark Pact is over, Fiend Script, it's great against that Slark. Otherwise, he's so mobile. Well, they go for the Crystal Maiden and Timbersaw this time, so no Marana Bane. Bit of a different scenario from Sigma, but overall still heroes that we see coming out pretty often. Timbersaw can of course be a hero for Miguel in the offlane, can also be a mid hero for Fada, though he doesn't play that all that often. And with heroes still in the pool like Puck, we might see that one coming out. Especially because he has such a nice initiation power to just silence up the Slark and continue fighting from there.
5 seconds remaining.
I say this, and I mean we just saw a Puck game that went well, so can't really complain about it too much. But he does need a lot of startup time and startup items as well. And on that case, the Retry, they'll be able to try and shut that Puck down. If Sigma indeed goes for the Puck, I mean I'm way ahead of this, as in I'm going too fast. Let's before we do anything else, just take a bit of a step back. The Retry versus Sigma, the scores. Here we go. Sigma, so far, they're not doing bad at all. They're actually doing quite well. They've only played 7 games, however, so that might be a reason for them doing well, but they've won 5, lost 2. If they can hold on to those 2 losses, as in if they don't get any more than those, well, then they'll look promising and they'll go very high up in this ranking. As I again make my cat bump his head against my desk. I'm really a rude person today. But yeah, on the side of the Retry, they haven't been doing as well. They've played 8 games so far, 3 won, 5 lost, so struggling a bit. We'll see if they can get themselves another win here. I mean, one of the things that if you can't get to the top 4 anymore, which it looks to be the case for the Retry, there's no shame in that, for sure, but you kind of have to make sure that you're not in the bottom 4. Bottom 4 has a chance to get dropped to the Pro Series, and of course 4FC has already taken one of those slots, so that's at least a bit of a relief. So the bottom 2 get dropped without excuses to the Pro Series, while the number 15 and 16 have to play regulation matches against the number 3 and 4 of the Pro Series. So, you know, you don't want to be in the bottom 4, it's just not where you want to be. The Retry so far, keeping their head up, and still looking good, at least to not make it into those bottom 4. At least Flipside and Cupid are looking more likely for that at the moment. So we'll see how that's going to end up. In the meantime, the draft, of course, has continued. It is a clockwork that the Retry went for, so that will be most likely their offlane. As we do have a Pugna ban coming out from the Retry. Sigma, on the other hand, has taken quite a lot, or is now taking time into their bonus time. The team that has taken quite a lot of time in their bonus time for banning out the clockwork, or sorry, for picking up the clockwork and banning out the Pugna, is the Retry. They've only got 20 seconds left in there. And that is really not that long of a time. And of course, this time Sigma can have themselves a ban and a pick right after each other. We know that Sigma has been liking dual lanes a lot lately. And there's still a possibility that they can dual lane the Crystal Main with something like either a normal hard carry or maybe even off lane like a Bristleback who's still in the pool. And then they still pick up the Bane Mirana. I mean, I'm really hoping Bane Mirana. You can hear that. But there's also, there's just so many good heroes still in the pool. That's kind of the problem here. As the OD is the ban out for Sigma, I mean, they are trying to secure themselves a good lane for their mid lane. I mean, I just said that they like to do dual lanes. Timbersaw doesn't really fit in that, in a dual lane. He can be doing a dual lane for sure. But I like him more on a solo lane. He needs those levels most of all. Even if he's not getting that much farm on an off lane, levels are the main thing that he needs. And if he gets those, then he'll be okay. And he might actually be still in mid lane by himself, in which case 2 dual lanes could still be happening.
10 seconds remaining.
And there we have a Lich ban and a Visage instantly picked up.
Team pick.
A Visage is support that can do dual lanes, but mostly strong in a tri-lane situation. I mean, he needs more heroes to get those stacks of Soul Assumption up. I'm kind of curious to see what Sigma is going to do here. If they feel like they have to run an aggressive tri-lane against the Slark, then they could go for the Visage and Crystal Main towards that top lane. If the Slark is indeed on the safe lane, of course, that remains to be seen. The rest of the draft of the retry still has to come out.
5 seconds remaining.
But Visage and Crystal Main, a very solid support duo. We've got 2 slows, 1 disable, and a nuke. And I mean, I guess the first slow is also a bit of a nuke from Crystal Maiden. Yeah, so yeah, they could be going for an aggressive tri-lane for this for Sigma. I'm not really sure, like, I don't really like a Timbersaw on an aggressive tri-lane. But Timbersaw can be mid, can be on the solo safe lane as well, so a lot of is still possible there. The retry will pick up the Rubik, a very safe support on the laning phase. You can just pick someone up that's looking to go on your carry and then drop him down amongst his teammates so everybody gets stunned up. Though later on, he'll be mostly thriving off what he can steal from his opponent team. And even though a lot of spells that are already here on the board are nice to steal, there's not really great spells to steal.
5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Sigma for the reserve time right now. I mean, so far they've still got a luxury in the world of time, where the retry has only got 5 seconds left. So I guess the retry is kind of happy that right now Sigma is using bonus time, because then also they got more time to think about what they wanted to do. And they actually still ended up banning out the puck, making sure that that's not going to be a Fada hero this game. Still a lot of strong mids in the pool though.
Mirana.
There you go, thank you! I was gonna say thank you Valve, but no, thank you Fada. Mirana. Now Mirana has, for Sigma, Mirana is a very versatile hero. Normally we know a bit about, like, who is the Mirana player for that team. But for Sigma, we've seen Mirana mid, we've seen her on the safe lane by Soxka, we've seen her on the off lane by Miguel. I guess that's the most used for Sigma lately, that it is Miguel and the Mirana mostly, but there are just so many possibilities here for this Mirana. And I mean, aggressive trialing with Mirana might not be exactly what I'm hoping for, but I'm just hoping for great arrows, and a Frostbite can set up for arrows for sure, as the retry picks up an Enchantress. And if you go for an aggressive trialing against a lane that that has an Enchantress and a Rubik right now, it's actually pretty decent, because you're forcing Enchantress out of the jungle, making sure that she cannot farm as much as she otherwise would. Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing an aggressive trialing still coming off from Sigma, but it all depends on where they are going to be expecting that Slark.
5 seconds remaining.
Because with Slark having the possibility of being on the mid lane and on the safe lane, it's all going to come down to that last pick that the retry is going to go for. First, we're going to see some bans though. It will be Sigma banning out a hero. Also, it will give away what they are expecting. I guess they are expecting to be seeing the Slark on the safe lane, and indeed banning out a mid lane hero. So far, the Slark has mostly been used as safe lane hero. And there goes the Viper. Another mid laner that Sigma often takes, and that means that they are expecting also to see still a mid hero coming out from Sigma. Well, they are the first to reveal their secrets. Bring it on. Well, they've got still half a minute, I guess. To be honest, I mean, even if there's not an aggressive tri lane, and just put Moran on the farming role. I'm actually not too big of a fan of Moran on the farming role because she's not the greatest of carries out there.
10 seconds.
And if you are gonna go for just a fairly carry with the Hand of Midas, then you might as well pick up a Luna or Gyrocopters. At least something that can have a better late game potential than a Mirana can.
10 seconds.
On the upside, Mirana against a Slark, if you put those on the off lane, even without support for the Mirana,
5 seconds remaining.
and that's gonna be a leap away before the pounce comes in.
Team pick.
It should be that Mirana can always leap away before the pounce comes in. That's just a given. Assuming, of course, that they're fast enough on the fingers, which, you know, the level of play that these teams are in, we're gonna expect that that is the case. And of course, if the spell is off cooldown. Whoa. Yep. Laying down the knowledge. Well, Dragonite picked up by Sigma, so we're most likely gonna see that one on the mid lane with.
10 seconds
That was a weird sound.
remaining.
Was that my? Okay, that was my sound. That was awkward.
5 seconds remaining.
Sorry if you heard that. I'm not sure if you did hear that. Lifestealer last pickup for the retry, and to be honest, it doesn't really say that much about who is going up against a Dragonite, because that has been actually Dragonite Lifestealer is actually a pretty decent combination still, matchup that is. But since Nubik picks it up, Nubik has been playing the safe lane for the retry. I'm gonna expect him to go there. Clockwork off lane. And Yoki actually the stand-in playing the Slug. Let's take a look at who's playing what. We're gonna first take a look at Sigma because they have got a bit of a easier way to determine who is going where. Considering it is Soxka playing the Mirana, he'll take on that hero as a carry hero. Now, if this is aggressive tri-lane or not, he is going to be trying to get a lot of farm on this one. It looks like I'm expecting him to go safe lane. He'll be supported by Mad on his Crystal Maiden and Pass on his Visage. We've got ourselves a swap. Okay, thank you! Miguel playing the Mirana, he'll go on the off lane. Well, you know. That means Miguel Mirana, Soxka playing the Timbersaw, which is not a hero that we see him play often, but he has done it before, and he is one of those players that can just play about anything and still do very well. And the Timbersaw, if they are gonna indeed prioritize this hero for farm, it's gonna be a really difficult hero to take down. On the upside, for the retry, if this Soxka Timbersaw is indeed going for things like a Bloodstone, and therefore getting more health and such, he is actually going to make himself, or make the Lifestealer stronger against him. So we'll see if that is indeed his choice, or if he's going for something completely different there, and more of an aggressive build of a Timbersaw. Last, of course, but not least, is Fada, playing the Dragonite here, for Sigma here. He'll go towards the top lane to help his team, should there be an engagement, but other than that, he'll rotate middle. And it looks like we are going to see an aggressive tri lane come out here. And no funny... nice looking Hudskins that I can use on the side of the retry. We've got PGG playing the off lane. He'll play the Clockwork. He'll most likely rotate towards that bottom lane. We've got ourselves the support Eid playing the Rubik. Eid, EDE, or Edward, however you want to call him. He is a Rubik indeed. We have, oh my god, that rhymed. We have No Fear playing the Enchantress.
30 seconds.
And he'll be already carrying a smoke around, so I might see some early action coming off from him. And talking about early action, Nubik, he hasn't picked up anything just yet. Open wounds is not really all too great. He does force out a leap of Miguel, which is nice enough, and he won't be able to do anything off the back of that anymore. So that will be no level 1 engagement, I'm assuming. Nice counter word done instantly. Sentry word still gets placed. It's interesting though, considering that was a sentry word there, but he can counter that if he wants to. But come on, Mad. You can do it. Anyways, Nubik will play the Lifestealer, will be on the safe lane indeed, get slowed here, we'll get harassed, we'll have a difficult time here up against this aggressive trial lane because I can't talk when that's happening because he just sounds funny. But yeah, he'll have a difficult time because he's up against a tri lane with 3 ranged heroes, with slows, with disables as well. Of course he can rage himself out of the frostbite, but he can't rage before that, so there's actually a very good chance to bait out the rage as No Fear actually finds himself a Crystal Maiden and actually slows him down. Wants to go for this. Eid might be wanting to help out. He's got a telekinesis, but is he gonna make it? Maybe he is. Frostbite is slow coming out, and Enchantress is the one that gets harassed here. Most of all, almost telekinesis up to the high ground, but he doesn't make it, and Eid gets forced back. That's gonna be a bit of a level 1 engagement, but no harm, no foul. It will be There we go. It will be Yoki playing the Slark mid. That's going to be the stand-in here for the retry. And that means that there is... oh, actually, that was everybody because I already introduced you PGG's Clockwork. So, yeah, that's everybody. It looks like we're going to see Lifestealer by himself. Arrow will fly, but will miss. And Nubik with picking up the feast first. He just had hunting season being opened because they know this. They saw him steal life. They know he doesn't have a range. And they know they can go on this right now if they just get the good opening, if they just get the good initiation. For that to happen though, they need to make sure that there's no supports around. They placed a ward. It was scouted up by No Fear. He doesn't have any sentry wards. Eid does not have any either, so they won't be able to counter that one just yet. As we do have PGG getting harassed here a bit. I mean, PGG, he is a Clockwork, aka a strength hero. Really? Yeah. He's a strength hero, and strength heroes overall have an easier time up against Timber Saws than non-strength, or a harder time rather. Wow, a harder time up against against a Timber Saw than others, because not only does the Whirling Death take away health, because you know that's what it does, but it also takes away the main attribute, a bit of it, and the main attribute PGG being strength, so it takes away more health. It is not easy to deal with at all. So Perez or Soxka should be having a free lane to farm in. He might get harassed a bit by the Cogs, but overall he should be getting ahead here, and he might actually be able to get a kill if PGG overextends. Who will pop himself though, but this is his last regen that he uses here on this lane. We've got the Dragon Knight sitting on 6 for 1. Now Dragon Knight up against the Slark, we've got a bit of an even matchup, if you will, in terms of last hits. Neither should be able to kill each other off. Perhaps Yoki should be able to kill Fada off, I guess. Darkpack comes out. This might be your first blood here. Couple of hits needed. He only has 1 point in Essence Shift, though. And maybe with 1 point extra, he might have been able to make something happen there. But Dragon Knight, overall, very tanky. With that Dragon Blood there, he should be able to stay alive. And he should be aware of what kind of damage Yoki can actually put out. So overall, I'm expecting no deaths here unless someone messes up. Which can always happen, of course. That can happen on any lane that you can think of. On the side of the tri lane, I'm kind of expecting first blood to happen here. Because Nubik is not really getting too much out of this. Apart from levels, actually, they're able to get to decent levels. But, I mean, this tri lane is just pretty damn strong. If they make sure that that rage is on cooldown, they might just dive and they might just get themselves a kill. With only Eat there to stop him, it might not be enough. Talking about ganks, there might be a gank coming out right here. The Pounce actually hit. They are trying to chase him down. Let's see if there's enough damage coming out. Oh, the Courier might be in some trouble. Nope, we'll be okay. Ooh, No Fear. Breathe Fire doesn't hit him. No Fear will not die from the tower, but will take quite low. There's still 2 bottle charges up on this Dragon Knight, though, so he should be fine. The first gank rotation coming out, and he didn't even use the smoke for that. Dragon Tail coming out. Maybe Yoki will die. There's a Breathe Fire still around there. Oh my god, it still hits while in the Pounce. Fada takes first blood here in the middle lane. And the Enchantress was no longer around to help him out with that one. That is going to be the first kill of Sigma this game, and it sets the tone. Sets the tone to be a bit more relaxed in the lanes, as in there's no more pressure to try and avoid or get first blood. Even on the side of this aggressive tri lane, because right now all they have to care about is just making sure that that Lifestealer is not getting anything on the lane. He's still getting levels, but he's not getting any farm. And make sure that that their supports are getting something without forced to be hanging around and not getting any experience. They are rotating in from behind, maybe trying to take down Nubik still. They've got themselves a Frostbite forcing out the rage. The arrow, they're trying to bait out the rage, but oh, there it is. It's still going to be quite a lot of melee damage coming out, and actually open wounds up Miguel. The Starstorm still hits though, and that's going to be a kill. Miguel, he'll be okay. The tower is actually hitting up on Mad, while Eid is still trying to take down Paz, but also Paz doesn't have the wrath of the tower on him because the tower cares more about creeps than about birds. And that's going to be 2-0 here, while Eid was not able to save his life, the life of the carry. That is going to be something that he is going to be sad about, and I say a lot of gonna be. Yep, I just realized that. That's very awkward if you realize that of yourself. I hope that I realized that before you did, actually, in which case, you know, no harm done. Slark, 21-5. Not doing bad on last hit, by any stretch. I mean, he's keeping up with Fada. I was sitting on 23-1. But this level difference is starting to be kind of worrisome, because level 7.5 already up on Fada. Wait a second, we might have a bit of a go here again on the Lifestealer. Just a bit harassed for now. He still has that level 2 rage. And actually, in comes No Fear and Eid looking for Pass open wounds. It should be past dead, but Ibu got dropped as well. Pass gets taken down by Nubik. It is a 1-for-1 trade so far. Miguel will still be able to leap over the head of Nubik, and the rotation came in from Fada. He goes on Nubik. There's no rage again for another 5 seconds, and one more hit. Boom, you're dead. That's gonna be another kill. This time goes the way of the Crystal Maiden. In the end, it's a 2-for-1 exchange. No Fear not able to help him out. Rubik, of course, the first one to die there, and of course the Lifestealer being the biggest target that they could get. The rotation of Fada being successful, and at this point you'd expect Slark to also try and maybe get some relocates going before him getting whoa, wait a second, hookshot Pass in some trouble. PGG still takes a lot of damage and will actually go down. Pass dies as well, but a 1-for-1 trade is better than you can ask for in this case. Clockwork, his first rotation, his first hookshot might have been successful, but him dying, well, I wouldn't call that a success for sure. We've got the gold graph going 2k the way of Sigma though. An experience graph, same story. Well, not 2k, but still ahead of Sigma. It is Sigma that is the one that has this the control over the map. The pounce here up on the dragon I did not hit. I'm not sure why Yoki was going for that. No, Fada gets the dragon 2 up there. Still a Shadow Dance up on the Slark though, but he's trying to force it out. The pounce is still there, and that's gonna be all that he needs to get himself out of there. I mean, before Slark, the thing that I was gonna say earlier, before Slark got re-added into Captain's mode, we saw Slark a couple of times. Courier, where are you going? He was even not carrying anything. Oh, he carried the bottle. But we saw him a couple of times as we have got a gank up on Soxka. He has got Timber's Chain, but it's only level 1. Yoki, he's gonna go for this. Battery Assault's already stopping in. Soxka, Whirling Death. He is a Timber Cell, level 2 on the Timber Chain right now, and that might be enough. The Nova comes out, the Chakram as well, slowing down the Slark. He goes in Shadow Dance, forced out defensively, will heal up during, so he won't die, but that was pretty close. And in the meantime, while he leaves the middle lane, Fada makes sure that he is gonna regret doing that one because he doesn't get a kill bottom and he loses his tier 1 tower. Pounce misses. Soxka, oh, Frostbite now, no Shadow Dance. The Dark Pact is still there, but it doesn't matter. The creeps get the kill. PGG with the cog still there. He's out of mana right now, just tries to get some last hits while he's having the battery assault on, but he is not gonna be able to get anything there, as we have got another rotation coming in. Past this time with the familiars going on top lane. Eid and Nubik still hanging around there. Level 7 up on Nubik is actually pretty decent, but he's really not rich by any means. I mean, he is sitting off Phase Booch, which is great and all that, but he's 23-3. Compare that to Miguel's 27-4 on the aggressive trial lane. And of course Miguel not dying yet and being involved in 3 kills. There's a big difference between those two. And I'm thinking maybe he needs even a hand of Midas. Nubik needs maybe a hand of Midas to catch himself up again. It really depends on how he thinks the game is going and how or what kind of plan the Retry has. What kind of timings they're aiming for. Breathe Fire, casually done. Fada is having a great game, by the way. He is second highest on last hits. Just, I mean, you know, overall second highest on last hits is pretty decent, but he's second highest to a free farming Timber Saw, so it's really good for both of them. They're both just doing, I say really good. They're doing well. Let's call it that one. Yeah, we are reaching that 10-minute mark soon, and 82 last hits is the maximum you can have in 10 minutes if you're only hitting lane creeps. So I guess they both could have had more, but they're both winning their lanes. Slark is catching, or is you know, keeping him at even, but he lost a tower. His rotations haven't been successful, and he also got himself killed twice. So not really going all too well. We do have Fada rotating again, this time going top, I guess, again, and going for the tier 1 tower. I mean, so far, Sigma, they have been able to get the tier 1 middle. They now got the tier 1 bottom. They rotate in. They were going for the Moonlight Shadow. They're trying to chase down Eid and No Fear. They won't be able to get him though, or maybe they will. The Dragon Tail might come out. Actually does. Comes up on PGG that came in from the side. He is gonna regret that one, but he will live. The Crystal Maiden is the one to die, and their tower still stands as well, which is of course the main thing there, why they were gonna rotate for that one. Maybe they can get themselves still PGG. Soxka, he's got his Chakram, he's got his Timber Chain. They find themselves with the Slark first, though. Slark pops his Shadow Dance, is able to jump himself away. Going for No Fear next. Soxka, he's gonna be able to live. Yes, he is. He's actually able to get himself a Clockwork kill in the process as well. Pounce is gonna still kill him off. Enchantress still goes down. It's a 2-for-1 trade after all, with Slark getting himself out alive. But Enchantress, her pool of blood, and the pool of blood of PGG on the floor as well. 2 for 1, or actually 2 for 2, I guess, if you still count the Crystal Maiden death. But overall, a very decent trade for Sigma, who of course also got that tier 1 top, which is probably the biggest difference at this point. Because even though the retry has been getting some kills, it's 8 to 4, which is not bad. I mean, yes, there is double the amount of kills on Sigma as there is on the retry. It is not good, but it is not something that you can't come back from. We know that early kills mean way less than later kills, and later kills, the retry can still definitely get those. Especially if you go for a kind of a bomb, like either Lifestealer into the Slark or Lifestealer into the Clockwork, Hookshot or Pounce in. It's still very strong. But the main difference right now is that when Sigma has taken fights, or when they were taking fights elsewhere and distracting the retry, they have been able to take down those towers. Oh, Sokska. Timber chains himself away, finds a tree, still gets Hookshot upon and cogged in probably as well. Battery Assault. Sokska, he will get picked up. Does a lot of damage to everybody here, though, while he is here. In come the teleports. Miguel leaps forward. Has got a Starstorm. Almost kills off Nubik with that, but, or No Fear and Nubik, actually, but both live in the end. And actually, the Pounce is on. Miguel's the one to die. Slark is in his prime time right now. Goes for the Crystal Maiden. The Frostbite, though. Dark Pact's gonna take that off. The Pounce hits this time, and that's gonna be mad. Going down to the Lifestealer. You okay? Yeah, he'll be okay. Shadow Dance will keep him up. And he pounces himself away into the trees. Only 2 people came in to try and save that Timber Saw. Both of them ended up dead. And the retry, taking it back. Trying to take a tier 1 tower now off the back of this one. In comes the teleport though. Sokska's back and might be able to get kills or at least force them out. No Fear. Oh, that's not a tree right there. You should have hit it a bit more south, but doesn't get it, doesn't get the kill. Does defend his tower, so still my point stands. The tower difference right now is the one that is the biggest difference, and it mostly comes back into farming space that people get off the back of the towers. Just the comfort of which you find yourself farming, as in if you feel safe or not. Their rotation, of course, for Sigma goes on bottom lane, because that's the last lane where there's still a tier 1 tower standing for the retry. They should be able to take this tower as well, but this time they find a bit more resistance. We do have Miguel looking for some arrows, and he's not gonna find them. Pretty close. Blind arrows. Better to have tried and failed than to have not tried at all. Yeah, this was a saying I was looking for the other day. I couldn't get it right that time. Oh, Slark. He's gonna be okay, though. Medallion coming out from Puss, by the way. That does mean that maybe if Sigma finds themselves a decent fight and isn't in a position to take a tower off the back of it that time, they might be able to take a Roshan. Oh, hello, Fada. He's got himself an Invis Rune. He finds PGG. PGG doesn't have a hookshot, does have 10 stick charges. He gets arrowed, actually. He'll go down. Visage Familiar still getting that kill. Nicely done. The rest of the team of PGG is like, what just happened? Can't do anything. Too late. And actually, Dragon Tail comes out. No Tornado anymore. They know he's here. The send word is down. Want to take down Fada? They can't, though. Or can they? This Pounce is there, but the mechanism comes out. Freezing field by Mana. Everybody runs away. It is a Rubik that already dies. Pounce away. Is it enough? It is not enough, or it is enough. The Shadow Dance is there. Nope, not enough. Double kill for Sokska. That's going to be 3 dead across the board, of course, counting PGG with that. The tier 1 tower dropped with that fight as well. And maybe Sokska is going to clear out a creep wave here if he wants to, then he can, and they can take a tier 2 tower, because it doesn't look like the retry is looking to make a move to defend this one. And it should be a free tower. And Fada, I mean, he didn't even need to use Dragon Form for that rotation.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
They don't know he's here. They don't know that Sokska is sitting in the trees. He just told himself Breathe Fire. Pretty decent spell to steal. And in comes Sokska. Goes for the Rubik. Yep, but Timber Chain. Crystal Maiden actually took the last hit. In comes the TPs. Oh, Slark. He teleported himself right into the midst of everybody. He is able to pounce himself away. In the meantime, it is Nubik that comes in as well. Tried to open up on Sokska, but can't get it done. Now in Shadow Dance. Even then, the Slark can't do anything. Can't get any kills on the board. And the tier 2 tower will get picked up. Nicely done by Sigma indeed. Great backstab coming out from Sokska there, securing that tower for them. And with that, either they can rotate to Roshan or rotate mid to take down another tier 2 tower. They've got the control of this map. Although because they've been sticking around with 5 for a while, the retry might be getting a bit more experience than they otherwise would have gotten. But so far, it's still going the way of Sigma for both accounts. Gold graph above 10k. Oh, Soak's got Timber Chain. It's gonna keep him up. He'll live. It won't be the same for Slark though. He'll die. Eat, getting slowed down, looking to try and make his way out, but won't be able to do that. It is a soul assumption that takes him down. A double demonstration up on Fada. Why not? In dragon form, pushing down a tower. In human form, pushing down a tower. There you go. He just transferred back when I said that, so that would have been kind of awkward. He's sitting on 2,700 gold, by the way. I mean, he went for the mechanism for his team, which I really like, because there wasn't really another mechanism builder in this team. But Fada, he's 204, so he could build that mech and still have gold to spare. Probably gonna go for BKB after this one. Fairly secure build. At the same time, Mirana's going for a bit more damage-heavy items. Is Yasha almost ready? Aghanim's being built up by the Visage, not a surprising item either, and it looks like Soxcar still wants to have that Bloodstone. He's close to it though, just needs about 100 gold, 200 gold to get himself the Vitality booster, and then he has it, if he wants it at least. If he wants to give us mana boost for that. Oh, Nubik, the chakra misses though, and that might have just cost them a kill, but at least it forces Nubik back. Does reveal the position of Sigma, the retry. Do they want to fight this, or do they want to fight their own wars? Do they want to at least take something in return for the towers that they've lost? Because that is, again, still the biggest difference. With 5 towers down on the side of the retry, and Sigma not losing a single. They are going to look to try and take one here in the mid lane, but there's still a fortification up, and actually Fada is already making his way over. Nice center ward placement. They know Fada's here. They've seen him. They're going to try and go for it. The Moonlight Shadow already up as well, but they initiate on Fada already. Is it going to be too late or not? It might be Fada. Mechanism gets put. Freezing Field goes out as well. PGG goes down first, as Fada still chased down, but now he is invisible. Lands a hit up on Eat. Dragon 2 up on the Life Stealer, who's also not able to get himself away. Soulstorm comes in there. The Rage is still on cooldown and won't be able to do anything. In the end, he loses, or the retry loses 3 of their lives. Don't get a tier 1 tower. Don't lose their tier 2, I guess. I mean, silver linings and all that. But lose a big fight, and with that, we'll lose the Roshan as well. And with the medallion up on fast, they should be able to take that down fairly fast. And that's a Blink Dagger Dragon Knight. Yep, that is indeed the case. Blink Dagger Dragon Knight. And that's what you see. Everybody on Sigma is higher net worth than everybody of the retry. Courtesy of towers does mean that if the retry starts taking towers, then they might be able to get back to it, but the way this is going, it doesn't look like Sigma is willing to give up anything. They could have traded a tier 2 for tier 1 mid, but they didn't want to give anything. Not a finger to the retry. Not anything at all. I don't blame them. Once you are ahead, stay ahead, right? That's the way to do it. Take down towers, don't give your enemies anything. In the meantime, Slark hasn't been really paying off. The pick of the Slark, that is. His courier is dead, by the way, as well. Got picked up right around here and did not have anything in it. I guess it's an upside. Still is able to backstab the tier 1 tower, perhaps. We do have a rotation coming in. He might be needed for his team. PGG is actually going to try to hook in. Interestingly enough, wanted to try and go for that Crystal Maiden, but I think lucky for him he didn't, because maybe they would have been able to get Crystal Maiden, but with everybody around of the retry and Slark so far away, they wouldn't have been able to do it. Actually, Fada is quite far away as well. He tried to find the Slark, couldn't find it. We'll be able to defend our tier 2 though. With the Breed Fire, actually blink forward into Dragon Tail, into Dragon Form. It goes for this. The Illusion Rune up as well. Breathe Fire. PGG, or No Fear rather, still healing himself. PGG just left it for dead. And that's gonna be Ownage called. Fada with another kill. Fada looking so solid. He's only got 3 kills. But he has been involved in 10 out of the 18 kills, and he hasn't died yet a single time. As we see though, he is the only one on the board that hasn't died yet. And with this, with the last outer tower down on the side of the retry, I think it's time for Sigma to try high ground. They've got the Aegis. In comes an arrow, will not hit up on anybody. But then again, that's because nobody is really around. Oh, blink! Dragon Tail! I really like this from a Dragon Knight. I really like this blink dagger. The GG Ball play comes out, the retry. They tap out. After a 20-minute game, they'll see their throne fall. And they'll see their win taken before them by Sigma. Sigma victorious after this game. This was the first and last game of these two teams today. We are going to jump ourselves back to an opponent that we have seen earlier today, or to a team rather. Because Na'Vi will be taken on Cupad in our next game in StarLadder. Of course, you're still watching day 17 of the group stages that has 30 days in total. And we're going to see ourselves if Cupad can get themselves a win in, or if Navi is gonna be on a winning streak after today, because they have been able to be victorious quite a few times. Stick around, the next game official starting time is in about 16 minutes from now. So we will probably have ourselves a break, but it's all up to the players and to the admins on how long that break actually is, if it's shorter than 15 minutes, or maybe even longer, as we saw previous game. Sometimes teams do take a bit longer to get into the lobby. Well, we'll be right back. I say we, but it's just me because everybody abandoned me. Anyways, we'll be right back with a game of Dota 2. You are still watching StarLadder.